Well, yeah, I mean, when you have, these types of things, when the price just comes back with a lot of setups, yeah, you can ignore the 10-20 rule generally. It's not a perfect indicator. It keeps you out of 80% of the bad times. It keeps you in 80% of the good markets. The other 20% on each side is discretionary. Up on lower volume. Indices go up on lower volume. Guys, low volume is good. Indices go up on low volume. They go down on high volume, they go up on low volume. Yeah. But on individual stocks, big volume is good in breakouts. But on indices, it's low volume, usually. You can just clearly see, if you look at the like Nasdaq 100 or whatever, you can clearly see. If you just look at the daily chart. The red bars are generally bigger than the green bars. The best runs were on low volume, like something like late 19, early 20. Look at this, low volume. Then you had a sell-off on high volume. Started failing the 10-day here, that's when it got on my radar. And on this day here, what's that, 3 days ago? When it broke this little range here, when it broke... So it gapped down right below the 20-day, pushed into the 20-day, and got rejected. And when it took out the lows of the day, that's when I shorted it. That was confirmation that, okay, this is an extended stock. It broke down, tried to rally, got rejected. This thing, the path of least resistance is to the downside. That's the setup. It's a breakdown setup. Because it's very stressful if you have a portfolio or a margin, you get a pullback day, and you haven't sized down anything. It's very stressful. It's always about being in a position of strength mentally. But if you're not a margin, yeah, don't randomly sell into strength just because it feels, just because the stock is up a few days. It doesn't make any sense. Just follow the seller rules. But if you're a margin, it's a little bit of different playbook. You have to, since it's a double-edged sword, you always have to play around and make sure you're in a position of strength. Because margin can be your friend, but it can also be your worst enemy. Powerful moves, okay? I'm gonna show what types of stocks are mean reversion stocks, okay? Look at this laser, okay? It was down 52% in what, a week? And then it had a bounced 75%, okay? Let's look at something like QS, okay? This thing was down 57% in 4 sessions, okay? Fubo, okay? This thing was down 62% in, 5-6 sessions, okay? Those are mean reversion candidates. Something like Snow, it's down, 21%, 22% in, 2 weeks? That's not a candidate for a mean reversion, okay? It's not. You have no edge. You need big moves. It's not fucking rocket science. You don't have to sit here, there's what's the low of this candle? Oh, it's 37.35. Let's put the trend line here, and then we'll put it here. Like, I mean, that's just moronic. It's stupid. Just draw the fucking line. It's not fucking rocket science. And throw away the useless TA books you read. What you should do is go through every stock in the US stock market, go back as far as you can, and look at how stocks move, okay? And you'll quickly realize 99% of technical analysis is complete bullshit. It was already up, 3 days in a row? Started to get extended, now the 4th day, it went parabolic. It started speeding up, and all you have to do is wait for that first red 5-minute candle and the break of that candle, and that's your setup. Look at this 5-star setup. And they were an ad spot here when it failed VWAP and started building lower highs. It had this little, pattern here, this breakdown pattern intraday. That was another setup, like an ad spot, but too thin for me, and I wasn't even looking at it. that's just one example of something, it's pretty much free money if you do it right. But, I can't participate. It's just too thin. I can't do any meaningful size on it. I use the Options Hawk morning newsletter, but they don't really do the small and micro cap ones. So if you're into trading a small, which you should be, if you have a tiny account, less than $1 million, you should be focusing a lot on like the smaller stocks, because there's so much more opportunity there. But you don't need to pay for any service. Use Earnings Whispers, or I think Seeking Alpha has something. And the setup on Can itself, it's not 5-star, but if you put it in context, what the market has been doing over the past couple of weeks, all these momentum stocks, they're down 50, 70%. And then you have something like this, it's right back at highs. It held up, bounced off the 20, built the wick, and now it's breaking out of this range with Bitcoin being really, really strong. That makes it a 5-star setup. And it's also like when the market is weak, that's when you see relative strength. That's when you see the potential winners. You see things starting to hold up, even though the index is going down. You know that there's a good chance those things are gonna bounce nicely, or make big, nice moves when the market stops selling off. And that's much easier to see when the market is actually weak. Right? This is an EP. This is an EP. When you have a big catalyst, big volume, and a big chart. And then, like, I actually did buy it near the open, but I immediately got stopped out. I think I took like a $300,000 loss on it or something like that. I anticipated opening range highs, but then it immediately stopped me out. And then I didn't touch it again. And then it started yesterday, like, this is what I saw. A bull flag on the 60-minute. This is what I saw. This is where I bought it. I'm gonna show you. I think it was late day. It was off stream. It was somewhere mid or late day. So what's my average? My average is 140. 140 is my average right here. And my stop was the lows of this candle. I had two stops. Lows of the first candle and the lows of the second candle. But imagine this is a daily chart. Look at this thing. Would this be a good setup? Let's look at the Nasdaq. I'm gonna tell you right now where my biggest gains have came. This period here, I made 50%. DVAC long, backed long, AMD long, a bunch of stuff. 4 weeks, okay? This here, I tripled my accounts. Or maybe even more. This was an insane period. We had a high breadth rally. This rally here, again, I'm probably tripled or quadrupled my accounts. Coming off, big, these corrections. This here, coming off, like pretty much a 5-month chop. This period here, also very big returns. That's where my money came from. This period here, again,